Part 6. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Bulletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 51. Whistle. Snap your fingers. When Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan came to their respective stations, the accompaniment started playing. Troublemaker is a well-known song in Bangsa country. It is popular not only because of its magical melody, but also because of its crazy dance. The two idols of Bangsa country in the original work were crazy about interpreting words such as ambiguity, edge, and hormones to the extreme when they danced the song on various stages. This is why so many people became excited instantly when Gu Huiyan mentioned this song. With a sexy girl like Shang Zuoyan, you have to dance like this, otherwise what's the point? Oh ho! Some staff at the scene started to scream like ghosts and wolves, and everyone was looking forward to the performance of the two people. Even if we don't mention Gu Huiyan, just the fact that Shang Zuoyan dances Troublemaker is enough to be a hot search. In the midst of the roar, with everyone watching, Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan danced to the rhythm with the accompaniment. I have to praise Shang Zuoyan's professional skills. Before the performance, Xiao Ye was quite shy when she heard that this song was for her. But with the rhythm, her expression instantly changed from shy to seductive. In 1 second, she entered the scene of the song. The round and perky buttocks wrapped in denim shorts are slightly raised, a pair of voluptuous legs are slightly crossed, and she is on tiptoe. Her movements are charming and standard. When the camera was shown to her at that time, the blood of many viewers was boiling. It is worth mentioning that Gu Huiyan is so quick to get into the role. Not far away, Gu Huiyan was wearing a grey peaked cap and simple clothes. His tall and thin body was in a corresponding posture, and he made a come here gesture to Shang Zuoyan from a distance. Standard and sexy. Keep teasing. Oh. Someone was booing in the audience. Boom. 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 The music gradually became louder. As the melody and beat gradually became more exciting, the distance between Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan became closer and closer. The next moment, the two people crossed each other, and Gu Huiyan's hand immediately hugged Shang Zuoyan's slender and white waist. Shang Zuoyan was wearing denim shorts and a camisole, a midriff-bearing outfit, and her waist was exposed, so as soon as Gu Huiyan got on her, it was the most intimate skin-to-skin contact. Shang Zuoyan, who had just taken a shower, did not smell of luxurious perfume. Instead, it was filled with the purest scent of shower gel. When her nose filled her nose, Gu Huiyan couldn't help but take a few more sniffs. It is worth mentioning that her waist feels really good, firm, and smooth, like a baby's skin. I really wonder how these female artists take care of their skin. The skin on their waists is so good. On the other side of the barrage, some wolf friends were already shouting crazy. Shang Zuoyan's waist is famous for its inner beauty. It is tight, white, and tender, with a full waistline and a vest line without protruding ribs. It is a must-have. It is said that there was a coal boss who wanted to spend tens of millions just to touch her waist, but he failed to do so. Now, Gu Huiyan took the opportunity of the performance to touch Shang Zuoyan's waist, and he covered such a large area with his entire palm. How could the male audience watching the show not scream and be envious? Not to mention it was them, even Zhang Shuo in the audience clenched his teeth after watching this. Even he, rarely had the opportunity to have close physical contact with Shang Zuoyan when they collaborated on stage in the past. Shang Zuoyan was very resistant, and the scale of internal entertainment did not allow it. Not to mention Gu Huiyan touching Shang Zuoyan's waist so unscrupulously. He is also very envious. How could this country bumpkin he to touch Shang Zuoyan's waist? The most terrible thing is, at that time, Shang Zuoyan was touched by Gu Huiyan on the waist. Instead of showing any shyness, her expression looked like she was in a play. She looked at Gu Huiyan with a charming face. She stretched out 2 fingers of her slender hand and twisted Gu Huiyan's collar. She was teasing Gu Huiyan and confronting him tit for tat. As the 2 people looked at each other, their hormones were surging. Amidst the cries of ghosts and howls of wolves. Do-do-do-do. The rhythm and melody continued. Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan continued to dance to the music in the center of the stage. The subsequent movements simply used practical actions to explain what it means. The scale is getting bigger and bigger. After contact, the 2 people seemed to have grown together. Gu Huiyan's hands would twist with Shang Zuoyan's hips, and Shang Zuoyan's waist would continue to move with Gu Huiyan's hands. Gu Huiyan's hands kept wandering around Shang Zuoyan's waist, hips, etc. The most terrible thing was that just a few seconds later, Gu Huiyan cooperated with Shang Zuoyan's hand and rubbed it against her thigh. Ah! Gu Huiyan! You boy! Just 1 second of footage instantly ignited the vast majority of viewers watching the show. At that time, many netizens were furious, with words floating all over the screen. Gu Huiyan, you damn, come out and challenge me. Today I will either die or I will live. Come out and challenge me. I want to touch it too. I touch. Ugh, everyone scolds Gu Huiyan, and everyone wants to be Gu Huiyan. No, wouldn't this be a bit disrespectful to women? You humming think our little fairy boy doesn't exist anymore, right? The commanders are copying the guy. I want to see who dares to say that our human race has no great emperor today. The scale of domestic entertainment is so small that even if a male artist is slightly disrespectful to a female artist in a show, just as a joke, he will be dragged online by those crazy fans. It's been a long time since I've been dead. What can I say, to be happy? It's so small that even if a male artist just follows the original and arranged movements in the dance and makes a little bit of a move to the female artist that doesn't even count as a borderline, they will still be said to be disrespectful to women. Over time, the male artists have become cautious, not daring to do anything, being reserved in the show, and not daring to speak in front of female guests. But those picky people still say that their program is not effective. They also want to have program effects. Then why the hell aren't you forcing people to dare not have effective programs? It's all because of you. Isn't there something wrong with someone who wants to be well, but who is so picky about everything? Is it that fragile? Life is tiring, and most people watch live broadcasts and watch videos purely for entertainment. Since it is entertainment, as long as it is good and you like it, it doesn't matter whether you brush the edges or not, respect or not, who is who. Isn't it tiring to watch a show and care so much about living a really special life? If you stand up for this person and that person all day long, does that really show how capable you are? There are always some silly ones who just have nothing to worry about. The dancing artists don't say anything and cooperate wholeheartedly, but they insist on jumping out and jumping around to make their presence felt. There is no need to be angry with such people. Because they don't do this, what if they really might die? If you encounter such people, stay away from them. Because when they die, they might actually take you with them. It is worth mentioning that when dancing with a female idol like Shang Zuoyan, who can also serve as a mentor for a boy band, Gu Huiyan not only did not mean to keep up with her rhythm, but seemed to lead her along. Every movement is very powerful, and the balance is mastered very well. I can't imagine that this is a young man who has only practiced for 2.5 years. Even those who have practiced bacon and twice-cooked pork for 10 years or more may not be as good as him. This level. There is also the tacit understanding between him and Shang Zuoyan. Those who don't know it would think that they are partners who have practiced together for a long time. Who would have thought that this is the first time that the two of them have collaborated on the stage without any practice? Even Zhang Shuo and the others in the audience did not expect that Gu Huiyan, an amateur who was on the show for the first time, would have such a solid dancing skills. Creak. Zhang Shuo's back teeth are almost broken. Not only did MD not put Gu Huiyan down, but he actually allowed Gu Huiyan to take advantage of this opportunity to shine. The key is that he took advantage of Shang Xueyan. At this moment, he really wished he could rush up to Gu Huiyan, pull him down, push him to the ground and give him a good beating. This man was so hateful. To be honest, Zhang Shuo really wants to cover his eyes now. Shivering. Because the scale of their movements while dancing on the stage is getting bigger and bigger. Not to mention Zhang Shuo, any man would have died of soreness. How can Gu Huiyan be so virtuous? Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Xuan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 52. After touching her waist, hugging her hips, rubbing her thighs, etc., at a certain point, Shang Xueyan suddenly pinched Lu Yao and stretched out her arms. Gu Huiyan came to the position of her beautiful hand, lowered his head, and moved directly along Shang Xueyan's arm to her face and mouth. This is a well-designed movement that is often seen in many side dances. The top scene is when the male and female performers face each other, right? Looking at Gu Huiyan, who was getting closer and closer, Shang Xueyan felt a little embarrassed for a moment, her pretty face turned red, and her eyes subconsciously dodge. To be honest, Shang Xueyan is really a very professional dancer. Even if she is shy before dancing, she is into the scene in a second when she officially starts. Jumping to the present, even if she is being taken advantage of by crazy people, her expression remains unchanged and her face is charming. Her expression made people feel as if it wasn't Gu Lulu who was taking advantage of her, but she was flirting with Gu Huiyan. Everyone also followed them into the drama, not thinking that they were passing by, but rather that they were concentrating on dancing. But who knows, Shang Xueyan has always used her tough stage experience and expression management to suppress the little deer in her heart. This moment. From Shang Xueyan's perspective, you can see Gu Huiyan quickly getting close to her face, too fast, as if she was being banged against the wall. The accelerated heartbeat at that time was really a physiological reaction, and Shang Xueyan couldn't help but control it. It is undeniable that this kid Gu Huiyan is really good looking. After playing basketball all afternoon, Gu Huiyan took a shower after coming back, feeling refreshed and capable. He wore a peaked cap that modified his face very well, and he was very charming when dancing. Offensive. Every look the camera gave him seemed like he was going to eat Shang Xueyan alive. Full of attack. At this time, Gu Huiyan's image of a professional and handsome guy made people forget about his village-like behavior during the day. It felt like he was completely two people. At this time, he was more like an idol, more like an artist, more like a star who could be followed by thousands of people. The aura of a star in him is so bright that it will overwhelm everyone at this moment. This kind of contrast was unexpected by Shang Xueyan. She thought that Gu Huiyan was just an ordinary trainee and could keep up with her own rhythm. Who would have thought that his dancing skills were so strong and every attack was so violent? What she didn't expect was that she would be shy. To be honest, it's not like Shang Xueyan has never danced with other male guests before. Although they have never danced this kind of side dance together, they are all distance-keeping types, but the problem is not the type of dance at all. What she couldn't deny was that when her eyes met Gu Huiyan's again and again, when their faces were close again and again, when they smelled each other's scent again and again, when they could feel each other's breath. Time and time again, love, desire and other things have completely occupied her brain. For a few moments, she felt that they were not dancing on the show, but more like two people flirting in private. Of course, she also understood that this might be an illusion caused by the ambiguous dance between the two people that caused her brain to be overtaken by hormones. But it was precisely because of this illusion that she couldn't recognize the reality. Being tempted is always just for a few moments. In those moments when her hormones were high, Shang Xueyan was driven by instinct. The moment Gu Huiyan came close to her face, she felt the urge to kiss Gu Huiyan. And she actually did so. The moment Gu Huiyan approached, She actually took the initiative to raise her pink lips and move forward. At that distance, she couldn't dodge. Gu Huiyan would really kiss her, right? Walk. At that moment, Gu Huiyan's eyes suddenly widened and he was dumbfounded. How could he have imagined that Shang Xueyan would dare to be wild enough to kiss him? Fortunately, Gu Huiyan had quick eyesight and quick hands, so he quickly ducked out of the way and accidentally missed Shang Xueyan's face. He almost didn't stop. Almost. It was so close that they actually kissed her. Fortunately, he responded quickly. What the hell? Hey. You too. Ah. Shang Xueyan, what are you doing? At that time, everyone in the courtyard was shouting crazy. The barrage is about to explode. If everything before was planned in the original dance, then the scene just now was completely performed by Shang Xueyan on the spot. Please. That's the little wild horse Shang Xueyan. When Gu Huiyan came closer, she took the initiative to kiss him with a pout. Just imagining that scene makes people's blood rush. What's more, they also acted it out in reality. It's so gorgeous, isn't it? Everyone may be running out of adrenaline tonight. Hello. Gu Huiyan almost couldn't hold back his laughter. He wanted to ask Shang Xueyan, are you playing hard to get with me? Compared to Gu Huiyan, Shang Xueyan had more stage experience. Although she blushed a little and felt a little ashamed when she didn't kiss Gu Huiyan, she pretended it never happened and continued her performance. What they know is that she is obsessed with wanting to take care of Huiyan personally, but those who don't know are thinking that she is deliberately flirting with men to create the effect of the show. Oh! When people in the audience saw this scene, they all thought it was Shang Xueyan's deliberate design and started to boo. Needless to say, the professional skills of these female artists who debuted in Bangsa country are so good. Even if the audience booed and booed one after another, they were indifferent and couldn't tell anything except a little blush. She is so wild. Creak. Off stage, the sound of clenching back molars could be heard from time to time. Don't get me wrong, this time it's not Zhang Shuo, but the cool fair-skinned beauty Pei Jingshu sitting not far away. Watching Gu Huiyan and Shang Xueyan dance like this was already quite satisfying for her, but Shang Xueyan was, so bold to flirt with Gu Huiyan. Pei Jingshu wants to say that Zhou Yan, a businessman, has no need for courtesy, justice, or shame. At this moment, Sister Shang continued to dance as if nothing had happened. Every dance step and movement was so perfect, so sexy, and touching. People who didn't know it were thinking that she was deliberately flirting with Gu Huiyan just now. She couldn't really mean it. Gu Huiyan's mouth twitched. The fact that he pulled Shang Xueyan into an exciting dance was indeed a bit immoral, but Shang Xueyan wouldn't dance around and tease him, right? Just now, Gu Huiyan was really close to failing the jump. He almost let Shang Xueyan take him off track and made him unable to jump. When dancing a dance with a tight rhythm like Troublemaker, if the rhythm is slightly disrupted, you may not be able to keep up with the rhythm and have to start all over again. If it was really her who was trying to punish herself, then this would be really wicked. Do-do-do. The music continued, Shang Xueyan walked around behind Gu Huiyan, her pert buttocks kept shaking. During this link, Gu Huiyan slapped Shang Xueyan's butt. Of course, it must be a fake move. The touching of the waist and the rubbing of the thigh are actually not big scale at all. They are all done in one go, but the patting of the butt is too large and too ambiguous. So in general, choreography is all about fake movements. But at this moment, all Gu Huiyan could think about was how Shang Xueyan almost made him kiss her, almost disrupting his rhythm, and he was a little distracted for a moment. When I was originally making a fake move of slapping my butt, I accidentally snapped. He actually shot it by accident. It's so magical. Gu Huiyan didn't know how he slapped it. He didn't use much strength at all, but the sound made by the slap was very humming loud. From Gu Huiyan's perspective, you can even see a circle of tidal waves rippling around Shang Zuoyan's body. Then, as soon as the sound of the slap came out, the barrage exploded immediately. Gu Huiyan, you kid. Are you really fighting? Zhao, are you really taking pictures? It's so loud, damn. Ah, it's so exciting. The movements like touching the waist and rubbing the thighs are measured, but not very large. It's not like a 3-year-old child is playing house. It's extremely embarrassing for a serious adult to see such things and blush. So even if someone was booing just now, it was just to create some show effect. But now, when Gu Huiyan's hand slapped Shang Zuoyan's round and perky butt, that moment, those people really exploded. Originally, many people are envious of the fact that Gu Huiyan can dance troublemaker with Shang Zuoyan, and they are even more jealous that he can touch Shang Zuoyan. Now, Gu Huiyan, a 6-year-old, actually slapped Shang Zuoyan's butt in public. The sound is still so loud. That moment. Not to mention the audience watching the show. Puff. Even some of the staff on site couldn't hold it back. At that time, the mature sister Xylin happened to be drinking water. Suddenly she saw this very visually conflicting scene, and she squirted out a mouthful of water. The lipstick has been sprayed off, okay. To be honest, the impression Gu Huiyan gave them all along was that of a very honest younger brother. Who would have thought that not only was this kid not a little puppy, he was actually a big wolf dog. Dare you take a picture of Charlene Shang's butt on stage? Shang Zuoyan is indeed wild, but this little Gu is not a vegetarian either. The corner of the actor Su Yuntang's mouth twitched. To be honest, he didn't have any feelings for Shang Zuoyan. At this age, actor Su had already lost feelings for the young girl. His whole heart and soul belonged to Siren. But looking at the scene of Gu Huiyan taking pictures of Shang Zuoyan's butt, even he felt a little envious. Men, there is always no resistance to such beautiful things. Everyone scolds Gu Huiyan, who doesn't want to be Gu Huiyan? In other words, who wouldn't want to take a picture of Shang Zuoyan's butt? Anyway. This moment. Almost everyone wished they could be eaten alive by Gu Huiyan. And who is the most incredible person? Probably still belongs to Shang Zuoyan. The moment she was slapped on the butt, Shang Zuoyan's two doll-like eyes suddenly widened. Her brain went blank at that moment, and she immediately shut down. She never expected that Gu Huiyan would dare to actually slap her butt while dancing in public. What a shot! The sound is still so loud. Everyone heard it? A friend said to me today. No wonder you call it Narcissus, steamed water. I urgently need recommendation votes, monthly tickets, and rewards to comfort my injured young heart. Woohoo! You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 53. Judging from the voices and reactions from the audience just now, Shang Zuoyan is sure that everyone heard it. The hot feeling came from her butt, making Shang Zuoyan's doll-like face quickly turn red at a speed visible to the naked eye. The next moment, an extreme sense of shame surged out from deep within her heart and quickly occupied every cell in Shang Zuoyan's body. Originally, Zuoyan, a little wild horse businessman with extremely strong business ability, could continue her dance moves with muscle memory the next moment she was slapped on the butt, but soon. Because she was so blushing and her heartbeat was so fast, the touch when her butt was slapped just now and the hot feeling coming from her butt now made her unable to face the audience and the camera. When everyone looked at her, she felt guilty for no reason, and shyness occupied every position in her heart for no reason. When I looked at Gu Huiyan, I saw the suppressed smile on his face, and then... puff! Shang Zuoyan didn't hold back at all and started laughing. Kikik. She covered her blushing face and turned away, her delicate body trembling, not daring to look back at the camera. Puff. Gu Huiyan didn't hold back as soon as she broke through the power. No matter what you are doing, you are afraid that the people around you will fail, because you will really be led astray. It is worth mentioning that under the light, Gu Huiyan's old face also turned red. It's not that Gu Huiyan is shy. Why is he, a grown man, so ashamed? He simply felt that he had gone too far, everyone was shouting, and he felt a little embarrassed. Just now. Gu Huiyan swears. I swear to God, he was really just distracted for a moment and took the picture casually. He really didn't use a lot of force, really not. But who knows? The sound is so humming loud. Gu Huiyan was puzzled. Did he cut off his palm? How could he make such a loud sound when patting his flesh? At this moment. Do-do-do. The dynamic music continues. But the man and woman who were dancing inseparably on the stage turned their backs with blushing faces, lowered their heads and smiled shamefully, their bodies trembling constantly. Uh-huh. Oh. Ah. Off stage. All kinds of voices come and go. It was more of an appeal. Obviously, the fact that the two of them broke up and laughed was unanimously ridiculed by everyone. Gu Huiyan was better. After all, it was his first time performing on stage and everyone had no expectations for him. It didn't matter whether he laughed or not. But Shang Xuoyan is different. She is Xuoyan, a young wild horse businessman who is famous for her super business ability. She burst into laughter during the performance. Can these people stop laughing? The barrage was not much better, a group of people were shouting. Gu Huiyan, you humming, come out to challenge me. Stop fighting alone, brothers, let's fight in a group. The 2nd Battalion commander blew the charge horn and charged at him with the labor and management. Zhu Qianlong, you also took the photo of our Fengji's butt. Haha, that's the ultimate treasure. That hand will be chopped off no matter what you say. Gu Huiyan, oh, these hands haven't been washed for at least half a month. More than that, if it were me, I would never wash my hands and smell them all my life, and I would smell them every day, desperately. Brother, you have such a strong taste. To be honest, at this moment, if the audience watching the show were here, Gu Huiyan might not survive the next second. It can directly destroy others. Shang Xuoyan's buttocks are so attractive and sensitive. Gu Huiyan didn't even say a word or say hello, he just slapped her. Snapped. That sound at that time still seems to linger in everyone's mind even now. Just recalling the scene just now, they wished they could chop Gu Huiyan into 8 pieces like garlic. This guy is as ugly and smelly as garlic. Kikik. Shang Xuoyan was embarrassed and found it funny. Amidst the cheers, her delicate body trembled with laughter and she couldn't even lift her head. Under the light, her face was so red that it reached the roots of her ears. She looked like she wanted to find a crack in the ground and crawl into it, which made people laugh and cry. She really never expected that this guy Gu Huiyan would be so bold. To be honest, when she took the initiative to take care of Huiyan just now, she was a little over the top. But after Gu Huiyan reacted quickly and avoided it, she actually became much more awake. I also know that I am on top. So she actually regained her mentality later on and was able to complete the performance normally. But who knows? Gu Huiyan, the old man, suddenly slapped her on the butt. The sound of that slap was loud enough for everyone to hear. Until now, Shang Xuoyan still feels a burning sensation coming from her butt. This makes Shang Xuoyan so embarrassed that she can no longer perform. Okay. Think of her, Shang Xuoyan. Since her debut, she has been famous for her professional and business skills. She has never made a fool of herself no matter what stage she is on. She never thought that she would fall for Gu Huiyan, an amateur who had just debuted after 2.5 years of practice. This one. She is really stuck here. Gu Huiyan. Shang Zuoyan, who finally recovered a little, couldn't help but move her voluptuous legs, ran over and kicked Gu Huiyan angrily. "What are you doing?" She was blushing and suppressing a smile. Her Barbie doll-like face was very delicate, her eyes were ridiculously big, and her apple-shaped muscles were very beautiful. Under the light, she has her hair loose and is dressed very hotly, and people can't help but think of the little wild horse Shang Zuoyan when she danced just now. Shang Zuoyan at this moment gives people a dream feeling. "No. I really didn't mean it." Gu Huiyan quickly dodged, his face turned red, and he explained while laughing. "You shot so loudly, how dare you say you didn't mean it?" Shang Zuoyan was a little embarrassed to say it. "But I clearly didn't use much strength." Gu Huiyan looked at his hands in confusion. "Do you mean that I pushed it with my butt raised?" Shang Zuoyan was very angry. "This scumbag. No. I didn't mean that." Gu Huiyan couldn't explain it. He was really distracted at the time and forgot that this was a fake move. The conscience of heaven and earth. But Shang Zuoyan doesn't believe it, fans don't believe it, and the audience doesn't believe it either. "Gu Huiyan, you uncle. You *U0026 amp, percent Yuan hashtag @ The brothers in the comment area were so sweet that they wanted to kill Gu Huiyan. If saliva could drown people, Gu Huiyan would have been drowned if these people were present. He has no shame at all. "Were you also the one who photographed our Fenji's butt? Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth." Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 54. The hustle and bustle ended. Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan, who were laughing so hard that they couldn't even lift their heads, were obviously unable to continue performing, so the staff wisely stopped their music. After Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan quarreled for a while on the stage, they both went down with red faces amidst the shouts of applause. Gu Huiyan was a bit better, he was a boy, he was thick-skinned, and his first performance had already amazed many people, so he didn't worry about it. Shang Zuoyan, on the other hand, had the attitude of "I've lost my face" and kept saying "I'm embarrassed" every time. After she came off the stage, when Follop filmed her, she covered her face and pushed away the camera. A pair of charming eyes were always glaring at Gu Huiyan resentfully, and her buttocks were still burning and sore. Very funny. This performance can be considered to have come to an end. All in all, although the two ended their performance midway because they were laughing, it was still very enjoyable and a feast for the eyes. In fact, it's not that Gu Huiyan performed so well. The main reason is that this guy usually has the image of a country bumpkin and is very angry in the village. If it weren't for today's session, everyone might have forgotten that he is still an artist. I didn't have much expectations for him, but his level exceeded many people's expectations, which was eye-catching. Who would have thought that Gu Huiyan, who is a village spirit, would also have scenes of full sexual tension while dancing? Pa bang bang. When they left the stage after the performance, although it was not very formal, everyone still gave them applause. Top-ranking Zhang Shuo and Best Actor Su Yuntang didn't look very good, maybe a little unconvinced. They probably felt that Gu Huiyan was able to resolve the crisis tonight simply because of Shang Zuoyan's help. After that, wouldn't Shang Zuoyan be there every time? There will always be times when she's not around, right? At that time, what can you do? There is ample time. Zhang Shuo had a gloomy face and was speechless secretly. Gurgling. Gu Huiyan came off the stage. He was a little hot after dancing just now. He picked up a glass of water and poured it into his mouth. Occasionally, he could notice Shang Zuoyan staring at him with a red face and resentment, but Gu Huiyan pretended not to see it. This matter is really hard to explain. But what left Gu Huiyan a little speechless was that Pei Jingshu, a cold-skinned beauty, occasionally cast resentful glances at him. Pei Jingshu. Her lips were thin and harmonious in shape, and the way they curled up slightly made countless people sweeten their lips. Maybe most people looked at Gu Huiyan with admiration, but some people felt that Gu Huiyan was hiding a lot, not that he was clumsy, but that he was a little bit surprisingly bad. Among them, Sister Pei Jingshu Pei is the first to bear the brunt. Since they met, she once thought that Gu Huiyan was a simple and honest person, not the kind of child who would play outside. But when Gu Huiyan asked Shang Zuoyan to do a more exciting dance on the stage, when Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan danced together, when Gu Huiyan slapped Shang Zuoyan on the buttocks, when Pei Jingshu had to admit that she seemed to have misjudged this guy. He hit it really deep. No one saw that he was so good at playing. He hid it from everyone. There are many fans of Pei Jingshu's family saying in the barrage, "Look, look, what did I say? When he was tying Sister Pei's hair, I told him that this guy is a scumbag. As soon as I heard his reason, I knew it was wrong. Sister Pei, did you pay for your love by mistake? Did you get deceived? Now you know us, right? It's better to wake up early, otherwise your love brain will have to dig wild vegetables for 18 years. These people are going crazy and adding insult to injury. That is to say, Gu Huiyan cannot see, otherwise he will definitely fight them desperately. I don't know why, but Gu Huiyan didn't mind being stared at resentfully by Shang Zuoyan, but being stared at by Pei Jingshu was a bit inexplicable guilt. To be honest, Gu Huiyan never thought about dancing troublemaker with Shang Zuoyan at first. Mainly because he used the system to improve his dancing level at that time, and he just wanted to see how far he was. He swore that he had absolutely no idea of swindling Zuoyan oil. He was a very pure boy. By chance, Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu's eyes met in mid-air. Gu Huiyan thought for a while, then scratched his head, nodded and smiled at Pei Jingshu naively. He and Pei Jingshu were sitting very close, and he could just smell the fragrance of Pei Jingshu. It was the fragrance of a very high-end perfume, which seemed to be an international brand endorsed by her. Just when he was about to say something, the cold fair-skinned beauty glanced at him sideways, crossed her two slender jade hands around her chest, pouted her little mouth and muttered, "Why are you laughing? You are so shameless." Then he turned his head away from Gu Huiyan, obviously angry. Barrage blast. Deserve it? Sister Pei, I'm angry, the kind that can't be coaxed. It's a temporary pleasure to torture your wife, chase her to the crematorium. Ha ha ha, Gu Huiyan has such a strong desire to live. It's no use having eggs. No matter how strong your desire for survival is now, it's useless. It's too late. Why did you go there earlier? Ah. Is my Pei companion taking care of the CP disintegrated like this? It doesn't matter, I still have the business heart uneasy CP. What kind of evil CP is this? At the moment when Pei Jingshu was angry with Gu Huiyan and was cold to him, many fans praised him, saying that Sister Pei finally recognized this guy's true face and was no longer in love. The last love-minded Wang Baoquan spent 18 years digging wild vegetables. Fortunately, Sister Pei woke up early, otherwise she might be the next Baoquan. They had long been displeased with Gu Huiyan, and now they had seized the opportunity to add insult to injury. The word deserved was once displayed on the screen. It is worth mentioning that a new CP has appeared in the comment area, called Shang Xian Nan CP. At first, many people didn't know what the CP name meant. After thinking about it for a moment, okay. It turned out to be the CP names of Shang Zuoyan and Gu Huiyan. Because the two of them danced troublemaker, a lot of people called them on, so a group of CP fans popped up to knock them. This group of people said that if the fans really can't stand Pei Jingshu and Gu Huiyan CP and want to break up, they should break up as soon as possible. This house will collapse when it should, and don't delay the business of our business-minded CP. This caught the fans of Pei Ban taking care of CP off guard. It was the only fans of Pei Jingshu's family who deserved to set the pace, not them. Seeing that Gu Huiyan was about to be bound to a new CP by another CP fan and another female star, where could they sit still? The comment section immediately declared war. Pei Ban takes care of CP fans means that Gu Huiyan and Sister Pei are true love. Didn't you see that Gu Huiyan explained to Sister Pei after he stepped down? Isn't that look of overwhelming desire for survival enough to explain Sister Pei's position in Gu Lulu's heart? Although the Shang Xi and Nan CP fans are new, they are a group with strong fighting ability. They said that if your Sister Pei really has a high position in Lao Liu's heart, he will still follow you in front of your Sister Pei. Will Shang Zuoyan dance Troublemaker? When Gu Laoliu and Xiao Yingying dance Troublemaker, it's equivalent to riding on your Sister Pei's face to do damage. Still don't understand. Pei Ban takes care of CP fans. Hearing these words, he was furious at the time. With he slapped down a bowl of CAO's rice bowl. They gritted their teeth and said that Gu Huiyan had already said that it was just a joke. Didn't you have ears or eyes? The offensive of CP fans with uneasy business is becoming more and more intense. They mockingly say that they are taking care of your Sister Pei's face. Do you really have no comparison in your mind? Pei Ban takes care of CP fans comes up with the classic Chinese quintessence of Tiger King, you fart. Shang Xingxin CP fans directly say that Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan are true love. Pei Ban takes care of CP fans means that you guys are so sensual, and our Sister Pei and Gu Huiyan are the true love. The Shang Xi and Nan CP fans got very angry when Ni Lin was touched, saying that your Sister Pei is just like a piece of ice, whoever likes her has something wrong with her. Pei Ban takes care of CP fans was not happy and called Shang Zuoyan, that woman who only knows how to dance but not how to sell meat. This kind of woman only plays for fun. Whoever falls in love with her will be unlucky. Both sides got excited talking about it. At the beginning, we tried to save each other's face and just discuss the matter. As he spoke, he began to make personal attacks. It really became a tug of war later on. Some fans of Shang Zuoyan's family and Pei Jingshu's family were dumbfounded. They said that UCP fans are really crazy. Shang Zuoyan and Pei Jingshu, as for robbing a man. How good that man is. Also, if you take stock, we can't see anything else, but we can see that this old scumbag Gu Huiyan is here. You guys, CP fans, have scolded our family for a scumbag. What the hell are you guys? What you know is that they compete with each other for CP, but those who don't know still think that they are just to scold Pei Jingshu and Shang Zuoyan. Anyway, the comment section is very busy right now. Gu Huiyan doesn't feel well here either. I wanted to explain it to Pei Jingshu, but was rejected. After Gu Huiyan finished talking about the calf, he was going a little too far this time. He thought to himself that Pei Jingshu was in a rage, and it was in front of the camera again, so it was not easy to say anything. He simply retracted his head angrily and refused to explain to Pei Jingshu. You. Looking at Gu Huiyan, who retreated without saying a word, Pei Jingshu couldn't help but frown, her lower lip slightly pursed, and she glared at Gu Huiyan angrily. This guy. How can anyone coax a girl without even saying a word? Snored. She was so angry. To be honest, in her more than 20 years of life, Pei Jingshu had never had her mood fluctuate so much because of a boy. This guy is really not a good guy. My sister is right, there are no good guys. Snored. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Bulletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 55. Xiaogu, do you want to sing another song? At this moment, the mature sister Xylin gathered the shawl on her shoulders and said with a smile. It was the last performance, and Gu Huiyan was the finale. Strictly speaking, the last one to appear should be called the Big Axis. In short, he was the last solo performance to appear. Originally, after Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan finished dancing just now, Zhang Shuo and Best Actor Su lost interest because their purpose had failed, so they didn't even mention it. On the contrary, it was the mature sister Xylin who looked at Gu Huiyan with interest. Judging from the dance just now, she always felt that everyone might have underestimated this young talent who claimed to have practiced for 2.5 years, so she had high expectations for his solo performance. Xylin. Yes. Gu Huiyan nodded. The program team also set up the stage for him at this time. He sent a simple high chair, acoustic guitar and accompaniment to the program team in advance, and they had just been adjusted. Gu Huiyan can sing as soon as he goes up. Pa bang bang. The exotic goddess Xylin pursed her lips and smiled. She said nothing, but raised her slender jade hands to gently applaud Gu Huiyan. Once she applauds, the others will of course give them face. In addition, Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan performed well just now, and the aftertaste is still there, so. Pa bang bang. Oh. There was some applause and cheers in the small courtyard. But. How should I put it? It's not very loud. At least it was not as loud as when any artist came on stage just now. Everyone has some stereotyped impressions of domestic entertainment boy bands. I can sing and dance, but my singing and dancing are average, with no outstanding points and no special features. Not to mention recognition and so on. In the last few years of the men's and women's team drafts, those members of the men's and women's team were treated like garbage in the eyes of many viewers, and they were caught by the handful. It was precisely because of this that when they heard that Gu Huiyan was a young talent who had been practicing for 2.5 years, they had no expectations at all for Gu Huiyan's ability to sing, dance, rap, and play basketball. Yes, maybe it was a surprise when he danced with Shang Zuoyan just now. But that's more because their dance to Troublemaker was a side dance. This kind of dance doesn't need to be very standard. Many people who don't have the standard can't tell. It's enough for them to just see something good, and they will be excited and surprised. At that moment, everyone regarded Gu Huiyan's performance as more effective than his dancing skills. It is precisely because of this that even if the performance was good and the atmosphere was on point, Gu Huiyan's solo performance would still be a bit cold. Best Actor Su and Zhang Shuo laughed, they were still waiting to see the joke. What made Su Yuntang a little speechless was that Xylin actually applauded Gu Huiyan, and he saw a lot of expectations in Xylin's exotic face that no one else had. I'm so confused, what does Xylin expect from this grandson? Thousands of people and thousands of faces. Everyone has their own agenda. Gu Huiyan is relatively simple and has only been in this circle for a short time. Sometimes he is not very aware of other people's malice. But fortunately, although he respects others, he doesn't care much about other people's opinions and prefers to go his own way. He didn't speak after taking the stage. He just silently picked up his guitar and sat quietly on the high chair in the center of the stage. It is worth mentioning that after dancing with Shang Zuoyan, he changed his flip-flops back. One foot was on the footboard of the high chair, and his toes were particularly prominent, which attracted a barrage of comments. *U0026amp, %#at. The audience was bustling with people. Neither the guests nor the staff paid much attention to Gu Huiyan. Many people were still intensely discussing how exciting the performance between Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan just now was, which made his stage cohesion very poor. Even the woman Shang Zuoyan was chattering and pulling Pei Jingshu to complain wildly about Gu Huiyan slapping his butt on stage just now, which made Sister Pei's face tremble constantly. It seems that only the mature sister Xylin is always looking at him with a pair of round and slender legs, smiling. Gu Huiyan had already anticipated this situation. It's strange that there would be an audience for the first solo performance of an amateur who is participating in a show for the first time. He didn't think much about it. During his days as a trainee, when his life couldn't go on, he would occasionally go to a friend's bar to sing and make some extra money. Usually in bars, everyone is drinking and chatting, and no one pays attention to him, so Gu Huiyan is used to it. Ding dong dong. He put his fingers on the guitar and began to play softly. Dong dong. At the same time, backstage, he was also given accompaniment that he had made on the computer in advance. Bursts of drum beats accompany his guitar music, and are also superimposed with very obvious children's vocal harmonies. It is distinctive, but the overall sound is a bit low, the sound is not loud, and the beat is not obvious, so even if the music has sounded, there is still no sound. How to catch the eye? A Diao. Live somewhere in XZ. Like a vulture, perched on the top of a mountain. A slightly low but magnetic voice came from Gu Huiyan's throat, and was transmitted to everyone's ears through the microphone and speakers. Perhaps it was only at this moment that the people present finally realized that Gu Huiyan had already started singing. What is somewhat surprising is that Gu Huiyan's timbre is quite recognizable, and it makes people's eyes light up when they listen to it for the first time. Everyone's eyes began to focus on him. Adiao. The front door of Joachim Temple is covered with sunshine. Have a pot of sweet tea and let's chat about the past. Gu Huiyan wore a peaked cap. He was dressed simply and plainly, just like the ballad he sang. He was famous for being poor, but his soul was very luxurious. When singing this song, Gu Huiyan was no longer as frivolous as he was during the day, nor did he do those village chores. There was no expression on his face, but everyone could hear his seriousness in his voice. His singing has a story and gives people a relaxed and lazy feeling. How's this song? Su Yuntang frowned and asked Zhang Shuo. He didn't know why, but he felt that this song was good. At this age, actor Su feels that he has pretty good taste. He usually listens to some tasteful songs from the 1990s to 2000s, and occasionally some foreign masterpieces. Gradually, I will also listen to some operas and the like. Generally speaking, I don't listen to new songs created by the new generation of musicians. No content, no soul, no meaning. In addition to shouting and moaning, there are all kinds of cynicism. In short, they are rotten to the core. This is also the stereotype that most audiences have of modern musicians. We don't blame them, because most modern musicians are indeed rubbish. Their new works have begun to be stitched together and plagiarized. Doesn't that mean they are bad? One thing Su Yuntang was embarrassed to say was that Zhang Shuo's songs were also classified as unnecessary moaning garbage by him. Even for the song that Pei Jingshu sang, it was her singing that was good, not the work. I don't know why. After only listening to a few words, he felt that Gu Huiyan's song Adiao seemed to be a good piece. So. Zhang Shuo didn't listen carefully, just shrugged, shook his head, and said calmly. They are all simple chords and simple drum beats. They seem to be in the folk style. There are no highlights and nothing good to listen to. Zhang Shuo is a bit arrogant and generally disdains listening to songs written by younger generations. When getting along with Gu Huiyan, he will naturally put himself in the position of a senior and mentor. When looking at the younger generation with his own eyes, he would never praise them, and it would be nice if he didn't belittle them. Yeah. Su Yuntang pursed his lips and smiled, thinking that maybe it was an illusion that he just thought Gu Huiyan's song was good. How can you tell whether a song is good or not with just a few lyrics? What a joke. So he changed the subject and talked to Zhang Shuo about the creations of some young people nowadays. Zhang Shuo laughed and said that those of us who work as foreign workers are too influenced by foreign countries, and there are too many idle moans in China. When chatting about this, the two of them unexpectedly discovered that they really had a lot in common. He. From time to time there was a burst of laughter. Sitting aside, the mature sister Xylin couldn't help but frown. It's okay for them to laugh, and it's okay for them to whisper, but laughing at this time is a bit like laughing at Gu Huiyan. It's a bit too much to openly laugh, right? Not to mention her, even Gu Huiyan on the stage heard their laughter. To be honest, Gu Huiyan had a strange sense of déjà vu at this moment. I wonder if you have ever had dinner with the great masters in the circle? It's like that, a table of people gathers in private, and the master proposes that everyone take turns to speak and express their feelings and so on. When the great master was speaking, everyone else held their breath and focused, with serious faces, as if they were afraid of missing every word of the great master. The table was very quiet, no one dared to interrupt, and some people even had to take a notebook to take notes. But when it's your turn, you will find that the master doesn't care about you at all. He is chatting with the people around him about other things, and the people at the table may not lick the master, but they all take the opportunity to talk about their own things. At that point, it would look awkward. Especially when you are expressing your feelings, the great master gets excited talking to others and bursts into laughter. Okay. Then it is really embarrassing to dig out 3 bedrooms and 1 living room. At that time, should you continue talking or shrink back angrily? Gu Huiyan had encountered this situation before when he attended a musician's party with his friends. He didn't blame others because the world is such a reality. He really didn't expect that he would have the same sense of déjà vu when he came to record the show today. But it doesn't matter. Because Gu Huiyan sang the next line. Adiao. Hypocritical people have thousands of ways to laugh. Whenever you go down the mountain, remember to bring the dolma knife. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 56. Offstage. Su Yuntang and Zhang Shuo were having a lively chat, talking about the creations of young artists these days, especially how weird the songs written by trainees in the same category as Gu Huiyan were. He didn't pay attention to Gu Huiyan on the stage at all. They even laughed regardless of others. It's not that they don't respect others, they just burst out laughing when they got excited and couldn't control themselves. When they found others looking at them, they would raise their hands to make a sorry gesture. Quite qualified. But who knows? As soon as they made the sorry gesture, they suddenly heard Gu Huiyan singing from the speakers. Hypocritical people have thousands of ways to laugh. Just at that moment, the smiles on their faces immediately froze. How does it feel? Gu Huiyan's lyrics. Are they the ones singing? What the hell? Then. Their expressions were wonderful. Puff. The goddess Xylan, who was sitting nearby, couldn't hold back and burst out laughing. Not only her, but some of the audience, including Shang Zuoyan, Pei Jingshu, and many viewers watching the show, couldn't help laughing at this moment. Perhaps many people did not pay attention to Gu Huiyan. But they actually heard the laughter of Su Yuntang and Zhang Shuo. It's true that they didn't pay much attention to Gu Huiyan, but at least they would respect Gu Huiyan, and at least they wouldn't whisper too loudly. These two laughed out loud, which would make people feel a little disrespectful. Of course, no one would say this openly. After all, those two are top-notch Zhang Shuo and actor Su Yuntang. Even if they don't respect Gu Huiyan, an amateur, so what? This is just a normal phenomenon, this world is just like the law of the jungle. But the problem is, when everyone's attention was first attracted to Su Yuntang and Zhang Shuo, and when they felt that they were disrespectful. Gu Huiyan said directly, hypocritical people have thousands of ways to laugh. At that time. Puff. Many people really almost couldn't hold back. Isn't this a curse? The barrage is now going viral. No, is this a coincidence? Gu Huiyan, you idiot, are you sure you didn't do it on purpose? The problem is that it doesn't sound inconsistent. It must be just a coincidence, right? Ha ha ha, I'm laughing so hard. This guy is quite talented. Zhang Shuo and Su Yuntang looked dumbfounded, ha ha ha. Indeed. At this moment, Su Yuntang and Zhang Shuo looked very embarrassed. They never expected that they would be laughed at by Gu Huiyan in the song. Still in front of so many people. The key to the problem is that they can't get angry, break their defenses, or refute. First of all, they are the ones who are disrespectful, and they are the ones who laugh out loud. Secondly, regardless of whether Gu Huiyan changed the lyrics on the spur of the moment, the song was being sung in the middle of the song, and they just killed themselves for not changing the lyrics on the spur of the moment. It was really not intentional, so what could they do? Therefore, the two of them suffered a complete loss because they were dumb. They couldn't express their sufferings because they were eating Coptis chinensis. They really didn't expect that they would be tricked by Gu Huiyan when Gu Huiyan was performing. Creak. Zhang Shuo was okay, but Queen Su's molar teeth were almost broken. Because when Gu Huiyan sang those lyrics just now, Xylan glanced at him and smiled. That smile, like a mockery, deeply stimulated Su's young mind. Giggle. Shang Zuoyan held Pei Jingshi's arm with a hello sisters look, smiled like a silver bell, and said, Gu Huiyan has a lot of trouble. She didn't pay much attention to Gu Huiyan's song, but she was really amused by what Gu Huiyan said just now. Hypocritical people have thousands of ways to laugh. Why is it stuck at such a perfect spot? The cold fair-skinned beauty Pei Jingshi lightly covered her red lips with her hands and smiled slightly. She didn't say anything, but glanced at Gu Huiyan on the stage. This guy is indeed a straight man, but he doesn't seem to be a bloodless wimp. Normally, he is casual and restrained, does not argue with others, ignore others' belittling, and looks indifferent to everything. At this time, he was too lazy to notice because he was rich and wealthy, and he didn't dare to face injustice. At this moment, Gu Huiyan was the most charming in Pei Jingshi's eyes. Some are funny and some are satirical. Originally, some people might not even know what Gu Huiyan sang, but because of the laughter of Zhang Shuo and Su Yuntang, their attention was attracted. Then Gu Huiyan's words hypocritical people have thousands of ways to laugh came out, and they focused on Gu Huiyan singing. They paid attention to Gu Huiyan because of the ridicule. Gu Huiyan, who was sitting on a high chair in the center of the stage, had no expression on his face. He was holding the guitar and still playing the gentle melody. The sounds of box piano, electric keyboard, bass, and drums gradually invaded everyone's ears. Gu Huiyan sang. Under the gray brim. Sunken cheeks. You rarely speak and give simple answers. Where will you be tomorrow? Who will care about you? Even if you die on the road. The song Adiao was obtained from the system. Strictly speaking, it cannot be said that it was written by Gu Huiyan himself. To be honest, he didn't know who the song Adiao was originally written about, but the song resonated with him very much. As the lyrics say, Gu Huiyan has always said very little. When people talk to him, his answers are often simple, because he knows very well that no matter how much he talks, no one will care about him, whether it is on this show or elsewhere. He has always seemed transparent. This has nothing to do with personality, it may just be that you are not popular and no one treats you as a piece of cake. It just so happened that tonight he was wearing a gray peaked cap. The scene gradually became quiet. Maybe some people subconsciously feel that starting with these lines, Gu Huiyan's song becomes a little catchy. That's what most musicians call recognition. Highlight. Music these days pays attention to a memory point. Some songs are like me meowing and meowing together. The crazy memory point attack makes you automatically repeat it in your mind after listening to it once, and you can't forget it even if you want to forget it. There are also some songs with ridiculously fast tempos. I wish I could just repeat the chorus to you 3 or 5 times so that you can remember the song quickly. Such works have no connotation or profound meaning, let alone any theme. They are praised by people who call them garbage, and they quickly disappear after being popular for a while. But the key to the problem is that as long as they are catchy, recognizable, bright, and memorable, then these songs will have traffic, popularity, and people will listen to them. Then those musicians who write this kind of garbage will get money and a living. This leads to more and more garbage like this. Some people always wonder why there are no such good works in this era as before. Is it because people who write songs have become trash? No. It's because people who listen to music have become rubbish. In the past few years of male and female group auditions, the fandom culture has become increasingly powerful. The bad songs that the idols of male and female groups shout out and shout about are embarrassing and can be thrown abroad, but they can be at the top of the new songs and hot song lists of major domestic music apps. However, good works are squeezed out by this bunch of rubbish and have no living space, and even worse, they can't even eat. What did previous listeners listen to? Listen to the melody, read the lyrics, and taste the connotation. What do listeners listen to today? You have to give me some recognition within half a minute to keep me, otherwise you will cut the next song immediately. Their pace is so fast. They couldn't tolerate any foreshadowing and just wanted to get it over with quickly. Even if the quality of Gu Huiyan's audio is not bad, the one who really appreciates the flavor of this song is the actor Su Yuntang. How ironic. Inner fish, if this continues, it will be a pill. At this moment, the actor Su stared blankly at Gu Huiyan. To be honest, he really felt that Gu Huiyan's song was connotative, deep, and meaningful now that he heard it. It's definitely better than those crappy songs on the street, and it's not just average as Zhang Shuo said. It's definitely better than the crappy song that Zhang Shuo just made for no reason. But he was very depressed. Could such a work really be written by a newcomer like Gu Huiyan? This kid hides his secrets, pretends to be a pig and eats the tiger? The rest of the people were also deeply impressed, and for a moment, they all looked towards Gu Huiyan again. Only this time, Gu Huiyan did not benefit from Zhou Yan's favor, but relied solely on himself. Adio. Can I have a full meal tomorrow? You get used to it. Hunger is a religion. Gu Huiyan said that this song was written about himself. Indeed. The life of being a trainee is very hard. Not every company's trainee's basic salary is very high. Gu Huiyan's company's trainee salary is more than 3,000 yuan. 3,000, even if you work as a waiter outside, your salary is more than 3,000. This amount of money is not necessarily enough to spend in Kyoto and Shanghai, where land is at a premium, even in ordinary third and fourth tier cities. The key is that this small amount of money also covers your food, clothing, housing, and transportation. Artists need to take care of themselves. Image management costs a lot of money. It's no exaggeration, 3,000 is considered too much. Therefore, during the 2.5 years as a trainee, Gu Huiyan's life was not good, and he was even a little embarrassed. Sometimes he had to go to a friend's bar to sing and make some extra money. Sometimes the end of the month has not come yet for wages, the bar is full of people, the money has been spent, and I am too embarrassed to take care of my family, so I am afraid that my family will worry. Although it will not mean that I will not be able to eat a full meal, the psychological torture is the most grueling. For humans, that feeling is almost the same as not being able to have a full meal. Some people say that Gu Huiyan's village spirit is a result of acting, but this is not true. He has never lived the kind of life where a big star spends tens of millions on luxury goods. At most, I have fantasized about it. Adio. The edges will not be smoothed by reality. You are not from this world. There's no need to care about the truth. In fact, to be honest, Gu Huiyan didn't know how he had managed to survive the past few years. When I first entered this industry, I had a very good idea. I wanted to be a trainee and survive for a few years. After a few years, I would show up in the draft and perform well. I didn't want to be a super first-tier player, but just a third or fourth-tier player. Just be an artist. You can make a lot of money as an artist. Even if you are a small third or fourth-tier artist, you can start with a few 100,000 for any announcement. If you have a work that you can go offline to perform at commercials, music festivals, etc., you can make money in a few years that others cannot make in a lifetime. Even if you become obsolete by then, the worst case scenario is that you will quit the industry and do something else. Anyway, you will earn almost enough as an artist, and the remaining money will be enough to throw into the bank and earn interest. However, the ideal is very full and the reality is very skinny. The reality is that the men's and women's teams were collectively killed in the draft, and the bright future that Gu Huiyan imagined turned into a bubble and disappeared into nothing. After 2.5 years of hard work without any announcement, no one knows where they will find a way out for remnants of the past era in the entertainment industry. They have been eliminated and abandoned by the entertainment industry. People around me have terminated their contracts and left one after another, and fewer people have refused to give up. The original edges and corners have gradually been smoothed away by the cruel reality. If there was no system, this job would probably be Gu Huiyan's only and last appearance in this circle, and that would be the end of it. Precisely because these things are Gu Huiyan's personal experience, it will be very touching to sing this song from his perspective. In fact, whether it is writing, singing, performing or anything else, you must try your best to use your own personal experience to interpret it, otherwise what you present to everyone in the end will always be lacking in something. Maybe a soul? Or maybe it's the taste. Anyway, that's pretty much it. It is precisely because Gu Huiyan has the experience that matches this song, so when he sang this song at Diao, even if no one knew his past, the appeal of the scene deeply attracted everyone. One person participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 57. In the small courtyard, all eyes and cameras were focused on Gu Huiyan. There were no more whispers, no more laughter. At this moment, everyone's thoughts were really focused on Gu Huiyan. Dong dong dong. The drum beats became more and more intense. Gu Huiyan raised his head, the light still illuminated the brim of his hat, and the shadows covered his eyes, but they could not erase the brightness in his eyes. He sang. Unfortunate fate. Obsessed and indifferent. Farewell youth. Countless stations. Be willing to be ordinary but not willing to accept it? Plain rot. You are a Diao. You are a free bird. Oh. At this time, some couldn't help but exclaim. They raised their arms and looked down, and found that there was a layer of fine goosebumps on them. It is true that the drums and piano sounds in the song are slightly louder and denser at this time, creating a very exciting and uplifting atmosphere in this chorus. But it seems that what really gave everyone goosebumps was not the music, but Gu Huiyan's vocals. What is unexpected is that Gu Huiyan's voice is surprisingly good, the timbre is very recognizable, the bass is magnetic, and the treble is high and sharp. When he sang the phrase free bird just now, his high notes gave people the feeling that they were about to pierce the sky. When he sang this chorus, he interpreted it in a way of singing with increasing scales, starting from A sing to almost E. The most amazing thing is that even when he sings the highest notes, he still gives people the feeling that the song is not over yet. It can be even higher. The vocal range is very wide. One by one, the singing skills and control are superb, which is very amazing. This kind of timbre, singing skills, and vocal range have almost surpassed more than 80% of the singers in the entertainment industry. It is precisely because of these blessings that the chorus just now is more infectious and directly gives a bunch of people goosebumps. The pimples are all gone. The barrage started flowing wildly at this moment. Hiss, I'm getting goosebumps. Me too. I don't know how many years it's been since I got goosebumps while listening to a song. This song is actually not particularly good, but it feels very resonant. I feel like Gu Huiyan has some stories. The person who sang this song must have endured hard times. He would never have been able to write this kind of song or sing this kind of feeling if he hadn't gone through those days where he had to eat one meal and not finish the next. Suddenly I understood why this boy has always been so angry in the village. I have been watching the show for a few days, and some viewers have been wondering, is this guy Gu Huiyan so angry because of the script, or is he just like this? A young guy who looks so handsome shouldn't be like this in private. Many people just watch it for fun. They think it is a script. These days, the entertainment industry is full of characters and scripts. They have long been accustomed to it. They don't want to see it through. It's great for everyone to watch it together and have fun. But until this moment, many talents suddenly have the feeling that Gu Huiyan is not the script and that he is such a person in daily life. His song A Diao is an interpretation of a person named A Diao from the perspective of a bystander, but it sounds like he sings it. The vultures are perched on the top of the mountain. Will they be able to have a full meal tomorrow? Hunger is a kind of belief that will not be smoothed by reality. Hypocritical people have thousands of ways to laugh. Lyrics like this, in everyone's mind, create a flesh and blood image of Gu Huiyan who has truly lived a hard life. In real daily life, a person like Zhong Suijiao would not buy things for 10 yuan. He likes to eat steaks well done and has to use chopsticks. He has to eat some pasta for breakfast, otherwise he won't be full. He lives the same life as them. Star, entertainer. People who have never experienced troughs or hard times will never be able to write this kind of song or sing this kind of feeling. There are many A Diao around us, who are both ordinary and extraordinary. They are willing to be ordinary, but do not want the ordinary to rot. They long for freedom, but have to succumb to the cruel reality. And this is our ordinary real life state. In fact, songwriter is like this. It needs to be described so that people can naturally associate it. For example, Gu Huiyan's metaphor of A Diao allows people to think about themselves by singing about others. It is vivid and vivid without any sense of violation. Very relatable. Nowadays, music is too straightforward. Anyone with no knowledge can write a song. What kind of song can be written by the kind of uneducated guy who comes on stage and wants to show off and say that he has no words for a long time and then ends up with tie pants spicy? He pretends to be cool and has no lyrics. How do you expect him to write songs with lyrics? Who the hell is disgusting? It's not unreasonable for domestic entertainment to suck, because they are all such people. Before that, maybe because they think Gu Huiyan is part of the script, even though many people support Gu Huiyan, they don't really like this kid, and they just follow him to make fun of him. Use him as a clown for fun. This can be seen from the fact that he has mentioned so many hot searches in the past 2 days, but the number of followers on his Weibo, Douyin and other social platform accounts has increased dramatically. But probably after he sang the song A Diao, some viewers really began to recognize him, and thought about searching his account later to follow him. This is a qualitative leap. A Diao. Love is a seed of sorrow. You are a tree, you will never wither. The prosperity comes to an end. This song A Diao goes from being low at the beginning, to getting better in the chorus of the A section, to the complete explosion of the chorus in the B section, and finally ends gently with the sentence love is a seed of sadness. It makes everyone feel like they are on a roller coaster. Big ups and downs. It's so good. Call. The singing is over. As the last chord fell, Gu Huiyan breathed a sigh of relief. Under the grey hat brim, in the shadow of the light, he pursed his lips and smiled, nodded slightly to the audience, and said softly into the microphone, "Thanks." The place was quite quiet. The expression on everyone's face is different. There are surprises, 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 and a lot of surprises. Pa. Xylin, the mature sister sitting in the front row, stared at Gu Huiyan in a daze. She raised her slender jade hand and patted it twice. The others who heard her applause quickly reacted, and then, Pa bang bang. There was a burst of fierce applause from the audience. This round of applause was more intense than any other star's previous applause at the end of his performance. It was even more intense than when Gu Huiyan and Shang Zuoyan danced Troublemaker just now. No one expected that on this show, an amateur's singing could actually win more intense applause than when top digital performers performed. Full house. Although they were very reluctant, the top-class Zhang Shuo and the best actor Su Yuntang also raised their hands to applaud Gu Huiyan. To be honest, they really didn't expect that this kid Gu Huiyan could hide so deeply, pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger. This time they really picked up a stone to throw at themselves. My feet are doing it to themselves. When Shang Zuoyan and Gu Huiyan finished dancing Troublemaker just now, they were still unconvinced by Gu Huiyan and felt that he had taken advantage of Shang Zuoyan. But looking at it now, even without Shang Zuoyan, he was strong enough to fight. Ah! The clowns turned out to be themselves. Gu Huiyan, you kid. Shang Zuoyan angrily went up to Gu Huiyan with a pink fist and said. You hide it so well. She also wanted to say that you lied to me so miserably. Fortunately, she thought Gu Huiyan couldn't help him out. Well, he sang so well, could write and sing, so it seemed like she was just being sentimental. Not only her, everyone wants to say that Gu Huiyan, you are a bastard. You are so deep. Hee hee. Gu Huiyan thought for a while and finally just smiled innocently. It's really not that he hid this matter deeply, the main thing is. You didn't even ask. The main purpose of writing this song is to say that the protagonist is a person of flesh and blood. He has his own past and his own story. His more than 20 years are not a blank space of past predecessors. He is just a lucky man in a parallel world. An ordinary person selected by the system, he lives the same life and daily life as each of us, and experiences all kinds of things in the world. He would also make mistakes, and he would also slap Shang Zuoyan on the butt out of impulse. I think that writing a book is about creating characters. Many of my colleagues write books where the protagonists don't even have parents. It's fun to slap people in the face from beginning to end, but it's not interesting and doesn't look like a human being. If I were like that, I would really have accepted many books. What a friend said is the assembly line of the studio. I originally wanted to regard this plot as the soul of the book, and write it in more detail to bring out the protagonist's character. But now it seems that many people don't like it. In short, this plot is finished, and you have been scolding me for so many days. The subsequent plot will return to the relaxed rhythm before. If you don't want to read this, I won't write it. Don't worry. Then I still want to thank everyone for your support. We have reached the top 10 of the new book list. I am satisfied. The latest updates are on the shelves waiting to be given to you. Don't worry. Friends who like it, don't forget to give this book a recommendation vote or monthly vote, and don't be stingy if you want to give a reward. By the way, when you have time, remember to give Mr. Gu a thumbs up. The heroines are all worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but little Gu is only worth tens. Is he really just a tool? Finally, let me leave you with a classic message for those brainless idiots. If you want to watch it, go away. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 58. Chapter 58. My brother is really secretive. After Gu Huiyan's performance ended, the show came to an end. The fact that he hides so deeply is also engraved in everyone's stereotype of him. No one expected that in a performance with top-notch performers, the most eye-catching one would be an amateur, Gu Huiyan. It was already very late, the staff cleaned up the mess, the celebrities and artists went back to their rooms to rest, and today's recording ended here. Oh yes. It seems that there is also a heartbeat message link. After returning to the room, the guests were informed by the program team and each thought about whom to send their heartwarming messages to. The affectionate actor so continued to send his heartfelt messages to Xylin without hesitation. No matter how nice the flowers outside were, he would hang herself from a tree like Xylin. People don't look back until they hit the south wall. He probably hit the south wall even if it broke his head. He vowed to compare it with the south wall to see who is stronger than his own Tianling guy. He didn't believe that he would never be able to break through it in this life. That kind of thing. The mature sister who received the message had a helpless look on her face. How should I put it, she didn't hate Su Yuntang and she didn't like it. She refused his kindness countless times and he just refused to give in. Don't he understand that the one he likes is not his? I recall my younger brother Gu Huiyan playing shirtless basketball today, and Gu Huiyan who was full of sexual tension and aggressiveness when dancing Troublemaker, and Gu Huiyan made goosebumps when singing a Diao. Xylin pursed her lips and smiled. He directly ignored Su Yuntang's heartbeat message and instead sent his own heartbeat message to Gu Huiyan. She says, "My brother is really hiding his secrets." Zhang Shuo, the top leader, was in a bad mood on the first day of recording today because of this country bumpkin Gu Huiyan. Even when he went back to the room to wash up, he was still muttering to Gu Huiyan. He never thought that this kid would pretend to be a pig and eat a tiger to hide his clumsiness to this extent. When the staff reminded him of the heartwarming message, he was not in the mood at all. He originally wanted to send it to Pei Jingshu, but after thinking about it, he sent it to Shang Zuoyan. He thought that he might have a better chance with Shang Zuoyan. The compiled information is also full of tea and tea flavor, saying, "If we have the chance, we can also dance Troublemaker together, but I won't be shy." Puff. After receiving the news, the little wild horse Shang Zuoyan was sitting on the bed with a pair of plump legs. When she saw the news, she couldn't help but laugh out loud. At the same time, she recalled the scene during today's dance. I remembered the feeling when Gu Huiyan's hands brushed every inch of her body, the look in his eyes that wanted to eat me, and the scene where she almost kissed him. I even thought of the pop sound when he slapped my butt. Gu Huiyan. Thinking of this, she felt itching with hatred, and there was an inexplicable strange feeling in her butt. This made her pretty face turn red, and she was so upset that she couldn't help but grab a pillow, make a pink fist and beat it hard for a while. After venting, she picked up her phone again. I originally wanted to reply to Zhang Shuo, but after editing it and just about to send it, I realized that this seemed to be a heartwarming message and I couldn't reply casually. Well. The little wild horse Shang Zuoyan raised her head, pouted, and rubbed the corner of her mouth with a green jade finger. She thought for a while, and finally decided to send it to Gu Huiyan. This guy is indeed not a good person, and he hides his evil deeply. He almost cheated me when I helped him today. But it is undeniable that Gu Huiyan is really attractive. Isn't there a saying like that? Called, "Men are not bad, women are not loved." The male artists around him are too polite and respectful, and they are afraid of being reported online for disrespecting women. At this time, Gu Huiyan, who does not follow the routine and is a bit bad, becomes particularly eye-catching. Speaking of which, she would also like to thank Zhang Shuo. If it weren't for Zhang Shuo, she would have almost forgotten the scene when she danced Troublemaker with Gu Huiyan. After thinking for a moment, she edited the information. "You must be responsible for slapping this lady on the butt." At this moment, Gu Huiyan, who was sitting on the bed after brushing his teeth, had just received a heartbeat message reminder from the staff. Before I even thought about picking up my phone, I found that I had received 2 heartwarming messages. 2. There were only 3 female guests in total, and he received 2 as soon as they arrived. To be honest, this was really unexpected by Gu Huiyan. When he came to this show, Gu Huiyan had no intention of any female guests favoring him due to system reasons. When he arrived and saw top actresses like 11 Lin, Pei Jingshu, and Shang Zuoyan, he was completely stunned because he didn't think any of the 3 top actresses would send heart-wrenching messages to her. He. Yesterday, all three female guests sent him heartwarming messages. Gu Huiyan thought for a while that he was just unlucky, or maybe the guests weren't all there. No one liked Su Yuntang's uncle type, so the female guests were forced to send them to him. What? He never feels how good he is. This is not because of inferiority or lack of self-confidence, but because of his self-awareness. He knows what he has done. Today, he did feel that there might be a heartwarming message sent to him. After all, the program at night seemed to be good, but then think about eating hot pot noodles, potato chips, and garlic during the day. He felt a little uneasy again. Now when I picked it up, I saw two heartwarming messages, which really surprised Gu Huiyan. It seems that we really can't belittle ourselves too much in the future. Gu Huiyan said that he would have to have a little confidence in himself in the future. With this mentality, Gu Huiyan opened the message and took a look. I have to say that the messages sent by the mature sister Xylin and the little wild horse Shang Zuoyan today are a little more colorful and personal than yesterday. Especially Shang Zuoyan, her message made Gu Huiyan feel itchy. Recalling the feeling when he slapped her butt, Gu Huiyan really wanted to reply to her. It's true that the tigress butt can't be touched. After thinking about it, Gu Huiyan didn't dare to post it. If he really replied like this, I guess Shang Zuoyan would have to kill him with a knife and chop him off. He didn't reply to Xylin. How can I put it, the mature sister is indeed quite interesting, and the heartwarming message also made Gu Huiyan unbearably itchy, but Gu Huiyan always felt that he was a bit overestimating his ability to send it to Xylin. No matter in terms of status, taste, etc., he felt that he and Xylin were not from the same world, and the smell of a mature woman in her was too strong. To put it bluntly, Gu Huiyan was afraid that he could control it. Can't touch her. Men like the thrill of conquering icebergs, but few people will take the initiative to challenge that high and insurmountable mountain. Just standing at the foot of the mountain makes you feel a little inferior to yourself. If you can't climb it, you won't climb it. Otherwise, once you start, there will be no turning back. Let alone climbing up, if you don't want to climb in the middle, you may fall to death if you try to turn back. After much thought, Gu Huiyan's heartbeat message was not sent to either of the two female guests, Shang Zuoyan and Xylin, who sent him the heartbeat message. He was just thinking, why didn't Pei Jingshu send him a heartbeat message today? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 59. Yes, Gu Huiyan admitted that he was a bit greedy. It was not enough for the three female guests to receive heartwarming messages from two, so he really wanted to receive 3 heartwarming messages every day. Grandson, Zhe, wants to eat shit. What's more, Pei Jingshu became angry at the first sight at night and ignored Gu Huiyan after the performance. It was really unlikely that she could send a heartwarming message to Gu Huiyan at night. Isn't there a saying that if you abuse your wife, it's great to chase her to the crematorium? But to be honest, compared to Shang Zuoyan and Xylin, Gu Huiyan really wanted to receive the heartwarming messages from Pei Jingshu. At this time, the residence of the female guests. The leftmost room on the 2nd floor. What am I talking about? Men are not good at all. You don't listen or not, now you know, that Xiao Gu, I saw him yesterday and I knew he was human. Pei Jingshu's agent sister, Pei Ya, came over to deliver things to her and help her pack her clothes without letting her assistant come up. Maybe she has strict requirements on Pei Jingshu, but she is also particularly considerate in taking care of Pei Jingshu. New. Pei Jingshu was wearing simple pajamas and sitting in front of the dressing mirror doing skincare before going to bed. She just wanted her sister to leave quickly. Pei Ya was about to leave, but seeing Pei Jingshu's nonchalant look, she couldn't help but frown and walked back. Coming to her sister, she asked, "Let me tell you, have you decided who you want to send your heartbeat message to today?" "Huh? Are you going to send it again today?" Pei Jingshu pretended not to know. "Certainly." Pei Ya said directly. "I suggest you send it to Jiangshuo. His traffic is very high. Although there are many people who criticize him, they are all just trolls. There is no clear black material. I haven't heard of him being tied to any female star yet. CP, emotionally, it's still very clean." Clean. After hearing this, Pei Jingshu looked at her sister strangely. "Pook." She smiled. "There is nothing clean about top-notch domestic entertainment. It's good if you don't step on the sewing machine, okay?" She even wanted to ask her sister if this was your first day in this industry. Pei Ya's face trembled and she said, "If you don't want to send it to Jiangshuo, you can send it to teacher Su Yuntang. He is notoriously clean." This is indeed true. The actor Su Yuntang is really decent in terms of his character. However, Pei Jingshu didn't even look at it. While gently stroking her hair, she said indifferently, "Not interested in." She has never been interested in the uncle's one. "So you have to give it to that little goo, right?" The corner of Pei Ya's mouth twitched. She really didn't expect that her sister was still a love brain. Let's just say that every woman with a love brain will end up well. The most famous one, Wang Baoquan, has been digging wild vegetables for 18 years, okay? After hearing this, Pei Jingshu's little hands combing her hair paused slightly, and soon returned to their original position. Her eyes were inexplicably resentful, her lower lip slightly raised, and she said, Who said it was going to be sent to him?" "Pei Ya." "Aiming. Okay." She finally figured it out. "As expected, my sister's heart was deceived by that old hater." Yes, it is true that when she mentioned 3 male guests to Pei Jingshu, they all said that they would not send heartwarming messages to him. However, when talking about Jiangshuo and Su Yuntang, Pei Jingshu's face was calm, just like talking about the family's shortcomings, not at all. Take it to heart. But when talking about Gu Huiyan, she could clearly detect the feeling coming from Pei Jingshu. It feels like a resentful woman. It's like the kind of girl who has a conflict with her boyfriend would react when someone mentions her boyfriend. "Don't mention that bastard to me, I get annoyed hearing his name now." Within 2 days. It's time to make another video call with each baby sticky. She was puzzled. Her younger sister was as beautiful as a flower, with a face that was known as the famous face for domestic entertainment. There was no other female star in the entire entertainment industry whose face was more striking than hers. He is still a well-deserved capable singer and a music talent show champion. Why does she, who is so perfect, like that old-timer Gu Huiyan? Yes. She did not deny that Gu Huiyan's dancing skills when dancing with Shang Zuoyan tonight, or his talent and singing skills during his own performance, were indeed eye-catching and amazing. But as stunning as it is stunning, you still have to recognize the reality. Even if he becomes famous and popular in the future, at least he is far from the so-called top tier now. This is just like a parent choosing a partner for his daughter. If you don't choose someone who has a house, a car, and savings so that your daughter can live a happy life with no worries about food and clothing, you tell me which one you want to choose, after. It's possible. Will there be a house, a car, and a deposit? Will you bet your daughter's whole life on the possibility of that person? What the hell are you kidding? Especially in a big industry like the entertainment industry. In this industry, it doesn't mean that you can become famous if you are really talented. The uncertainty is very high. If one day some dirty information is exposed and the whole thing is overturned, it will be even worse. Try not to gamble on anything in this world. Even if you don't say that 9 times out of 10 you will lose, gambling still involves winning or losing. Therefore, Pei Ya didn't think highly of Gu Huiyan at all and had never felt anything about him. Naturally, she didn't want her beautiful sister to have anything to do with him anymore. To be honest, the reason why she appeared in Pei Jingshu's room tonight was to urge her on this matter. "I'm warning you, you are not allowed to send him heartbeat messages tonight," Pei Yaming said. "I didn't plan to send it to him at first." Pei Jingshu pursed her lips. "Send it to Jingshuo. Give me your mobile phone and I'll send it to you." Pei Ya was very forceful. "This is my business, sister, you." Pei Jingshu was deeply surprised. "Why is it your business?" "This is work," Pei Ya said righteously. "Work, work," Pei Jingshu raised her eyebrows slightly. "Isn't CP marketing a job?" Pei Ya stretched out her hand and stopped talking nonsense. "Give me the phone." To Pei Ya's surprise, her sister, who usually obeyed her, instead of obeying her strong will, grabbed the phone on her desk in her hand, stuffed it into her chest and hugged her tightly. "No." She turned her head sideways, letting her waterfall-like black hair cover her beautiful face, and answered stubbornly and firmly. Creak. Pei Ya's molar teeth were almost broken when her sister looked at her like this. Her delicate body trembled with anger and she shouted. "Pei Jingshu!" In the room, there was a commotion. If it weren't for Shang Zuoyan and Xylin living next door, and this was the recording side of the show, Pei Yajao would have to teach her sister Pei Jingshu a lesson because the lard opposite her had blinded her mind. Just keep falling in love. In the end, she was helpless. She said her words as if she hated the iron, and slammed the door. Call. After she left, Pei Jingshu breathed a sigh of relief. Just when I was about to get up and close the door, suddenly. Ding dong. Her cell phone rang. When she picked it up and took a look, Pei Jingshu was surprised to find that it was a heartwarming message sent to herself. And it was from Gu Huiyan and Gu Lalu. Gu Huiyan. A local friend I met while playing golf today said that there is a good rice noodle shop in the ancient city. Do you want to go and eat there tomorrow morning? Thank you Squirtle for expressing dissatisfaction. Love reading Bug Bird, Jufei, Book Friend 20220607132039763, GAEIA, Kenhen King II stepping on the dust, the wind has eaten, 5 limbs are sound, Losai 98, Jin Yuan Bao, Zhongli Konglu, SJSDSSJ, Zion Shukanjiang, Chiu Lan and Urju and other friends have given me tips. If there are any omissions, please bear with me. I just came to Kidian and I can't figure out that the functions are all done by hand. I don't know if there is a convenient way to thank you. Anyway, thank you all for your support. I will continue to beg for various recommendation votes, monthly votes, and rewards. Without further ado, I will continue to save the article, and there will be more updates soon. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 60. The Residence of the Male Guests. Gu Lulu didn't play the king tonight, but was a little restless. To be honest, he didn't know why he sent it to Pei Jingshu. He was indeed the same person as Pei Jingshu thought. He didn't like rushing to lick his face to warm his face and stick to his cold ass. There are obviously 2 female guests, Xylin and Shang Zuoyan, who can reply, so why do they have to send it specifically to Pei Jingshu? Possible. Everyone is cheap. The more you can't get something, the more you want to touch it. Tonight, Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu were exactly the opposite of last night. Their activeness became passive, and their passiveness became active. Gu Lulu also experienced a feeling of uneasiness. He was really afraid that Pei Jingshu wouldn't reply to him. Then he would really lose his wife and lose his troops. He didn't reply to the other 2 female guests, and was left in the cold by Pei Jingshu. And just when Gu Huiyan was thinking wildly. Ding dong. Suddenly a message notification sound came from the phone. Gu Huiyan opened it and saw the reply from Pei Jingshu. Pei Jingshu, do you want to get up very early? Gu Lulu was silently relieved after seeing the news. He thought for a while and replied. Yes, it takes half an hour to get to the ancient city from here. A few moments. Pei Jingshu replied somewhat playfully. Can you, get up? Covers mouth and laughs. Gu Huiyan. For a moment I didn't know what to say. He wanted to say that he simply didn't set the alarm clock this morning, okay. Just because she didn't get up early in the morning, why did Pei Jingshu become the kind of lazy person who couldn't get up in the morning and was sealed by the bed? Not so. Gu Huiyan originally wanted to reply directly and said that he would definitely be able to get up, but then he thought it was too straightforward and boring, so he decided to send an emoticon. After searching for a long time but not finding the right one, Gu Huiyan thought for a while, his eyes lit up, he smiled, edited the message and sent. You call me and I can get up. Pei Jingshu couldn't help but laugh out loud after receiving the news. She happened to be sitting in front of the dressing mirror, and she could see her blushing face in the mirror. She was embarrassed to look at it. It's really obvious when a cool fair-skinned beauty like her blushes, not to mention the fact that she's blushing to the base of her ears now. At this moment, she really felt that she and Gu Huiyan were running in both directions. Pei Jingshu, who was in love for the first time, had no resistance to this kind of ambiguity. She thought, are they going on a date tomorrow? After considering her words, she edited the message and sent it. There are no beautiful words, just one simple word. Good. This night, just like last night, the night was beautiful and the wind was gentle. The next day. Hashtag the first artist in the history of variety shows to eat soy pot noodles and show off potato chips in the morning. Hashtag. Hashtag just ask if you don't understand, Gu Huiyan, have you really never eaten? Hashtag. Hashtag Pei Jingshu same style of chopsticks for hairstyle. Hashtag. Hashtag Shang Zuoyan and Gu Huiyan dance troublemaker. Hashtag. Hashtag Gu Huiyan photographed Shang Zuoyan's ass. Hashtag. Hashtag Adiao hashtag. Hashtag which pair do you like between Pei Banskir and Shang Xianan? Hashtag. Hashtag Pei Jingshu is in love. Hashtag. Gu Huiyan is on the hot search again. It's rare to see an amateur who is on a show for the first time become a hot search topic for 2 consecutive days after the show airs, and also likes to mention it a lot. This village-style little fresh meat has successfully lived up to expectations, and once again used his down-to-earth lifestyle to teach the top artists who recorded the show together. It is worth mentioning that the chopstick hairpin he gave Pei Jingshu became very popular in the afternoon that day. It was posted on Douyin, Weibo, and WeChat Moments, and it went viral. Some internet celebrity bloggers smelled the traffic trend and immediately followed the trend and made several issues of the chopsticks updo hairstyle. It was favored by short video platforms such as Douyin and Bilibili, and it received a lot of traffic. It immediately became popular with Pei Jingshu's same style chopsticks. It is undeniable that Gu Huiyan's hair styled with chopsticks does look good, but the real reason why she became popular is because of Pei Jingshu. She is so beautiful. The makeup she usually wears when she attends events often causes many beauty bloggers to imitate her makeup. Every new makeup look can set off a trend in the beauty industry. Pei Jingshu in the show is wearing a long white dress, with black hair like a waterfall, and she is wearing an apron and washing vegetables. She has the look of a beautiful cook, and Gu Huiyan's chopsticks in her hair are even more eye-catching. The brush strokes vividly highlighted the Jiangnan woman's temperament in her body. The screenshots of Pei Jingshu with her hair tied up in chopsticks from the show hit all the social platforms. It was even used as a promotional poster by the program team of Chicken Thief, and the photo album produced on Douyin's official account received hundreds of thousands of likes. The comment section was full of praise for Pei Jingshu's beauty, but when it came to the original author of this look, Gu Huiyan, they Hitui Scumbag. This is a dog thief. This old six is a pure scumbag. Kill Go and rob sister Pei. Obviously, the only fans of Pei Jingshu's family have the same view on Gu Huiyan. From the moment he said that he was so good at tying his hair with chopsticks because he often did it to his mother, everyone knew that this old man was deceiving people. This is a classic quote from a scumbag. That night when he danced Troublemaker with Shang Zuoyan, his true nature was even more exposed. Pei Jingshu's family was doing him a good job if their fans didn't tear him apart, so how could they praise him? That he contributed a style to Pei Jingshu that was out of the circle? Isn't that what Gu Laolio should do? Having said that, Gu Huiyan's dance to Troublemaker with Shang Zuoyan at night was considered a hit. The video produced by the show's official WeChat account and uploaded as a DO sound received nearly 1 million likes in one night. The thing itself was enough of a gimmick, and the two danced so beautifully. One moment it was Shang Zuoyan who took the initiative to kiss Huiyan, and the other moment it was Gu Huiyan taking pictures of Shang Zuoyan's butt. It's strange that it's not popular. Last night, Gu Huiyan really wanted to go crazy on the hot search lists on Weibo, Douyin and other platforms, but the most popular song was actually his song Adiao. This song was a hot search on some music platforms such as Penguin, NetYaun, etc. The funny thing is that there is no sound source. I just sang it last night. There are a lot of things to do like licensing, editing, etc. The program team may not even have time to edit the live version, let alone upload it to the music platform. For this reason, many fans went to the official accounts of various music platforms such as Penguin, Wanjiun, etc. to complain, frantically urging me to stop being stupid. You are such a narcissus, GKD, labor and management must listen. This song actually doesn't have a very moving melody, nor is it a killer intro, but many people have heard a lot of resonance in this song, and it feels quite powerful. Internal entertainment is rotten to the core. Compared with those who shout nonsense and moan for no reason, this song is really a rare high-quality song. Speaking of Adiao, there is an interesting comment on the internet, which says, "Before Gu Huiyan sang Adiao, I said, this clown is quite interesting, huh. After Gu Huiyan sang Adiao, wow, it turns out the clown is me." This song can almost be said to have overturned everyone's impression of Gu Huiyan, letting everyone know that Gu Huiyan is not the kind of clown who only knows how to do things, let alone a comedian, but a truly capable and talented singer. He also directly slapped many people who had previously slandered him in the face. It is worth mentioning that the boss Zhang Dan also put a lot of effort into publicity when seeing how outstanding his son was. That night, they directly bought the manuscript to promote Gu Huiyan's Adiao and compiled one article after another about Gu Huiyan's tragic past based on Gu Huiyan's identity and background. Say what? Before Gu Huiyan became popular, he practiced for 2.5 years without any source of income. Gu Huiyan was a wandering singer before, and he once met a girl named Adiao in XZ. Gu Huiyan is a young North Drifter who has a promising career. Before the fire broke out, he ate instant noodles and slept in the basement. Gu Huiyan had just joined the company and had a chance to show his face, but because he offended his senior, he was hidden for 2.5 years. Gu Huiyan grew up in a poor family and faced special difficulties at home. His mother told him that children of poor people should become masters early. All in all, it's very sad. What a miserable version has come out. It is almost said that he grew up in Kitian orphanage without a father or mother since he was a child. He was stunned and created the image of Gu Huiyan as a child from a poor family who has survived hard times. He even promoted that it was because he was such a child that he was so down to earth, and his performance on the show was definitely not a script, but a reflection of his daily life. All in all, just one sentence. Hurry up and like Gu Huiyan, he deserves your liking. Standard internal entertainment marketing techniques can make up a story for you even if it becomes popular. Precisely because of Mother Jiang's powerful publicity, and because of Gu Huiyan's own outstanding performance, Gu Huiyan's Douyin account increased by nearly 1 million followers that night, and his Weibo account had a smaller number of 5 or 6 million followers. Now Gu Huiyan has truly entered the ranks of a 3rd and 4th tier artist from an 18th tier young artist, gaining some traffic and popularity. Everything was originally prosperous. Gu Huiyan's performance, if it were placed in a normal variety show, would have been well received everywhere. But the style of Gu Huiyan's comment section is a little different.